Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a chit chat get ready with me video. This is the second time that I am doing this. The first time the video was about, it was about having 1,000 subscribers, and it was about having a fear of failure and just talking about it a little bit and letting you all know, come into my life and see things through my eyes, and basically just sharing with you all that I did have a fear of failure, but I was getting over it and I was happy about getting 1,000 subscribers. So now this is video number 2, and it's another chit chat get ready with me, and now I have 10,000 subscribers. So I am so excited about that I have 10,000 subscribers. That's crazy. And I kind of got out of my funk. I was in a funk where it's like I didn't want to do YouTube videos. It wasn't really that I didn't want to do them, but it was just that I wasn't feeling it. I was not in the mood. I was like, I'm not feeling this right now, and I'm not gonna do videos until I feel like it, because I never want to do anything where I feel like it is a job. I want it to always be something that I want to do as a recreational type thing. I never started YouTube to make money. I never started YouTube to get a following or anything like that. It was all supposed to be a recreational type activity, so I never want to feel like it's work and it's not a recreational thing. So that's the reason why I kind of stayed away from it for a while, but I'm back, and I am back with a vengeance. I uploaded, I believe, 4 videos this week. Well, kind of 3, just because the other one was my channel trailer, but I still uploaded it. And yeah, so I'm just excited to be back with you all today. I already did the brows, because if you know anything about brows, you know that it takes a lot of concentration for eyebrows, and I didn't want to be like talking and then stop talking and then talking and then stop talking, and it's like, girl, would you just go? So I did the eyebrows off camera, but everything else I will be doing on camera. Today I am going to be talking about, I wrote it down, coping with feelings of being stuck, trapped, and depression. So let me get started with my makeup, and we can get started with this conversation. Do you like my hair? I wand curled it, and it is dyed magenta. So I really like the color. I think it's cute or whatever. I don't know why I feel like nervous talking, because I'm so used to not even talking during my videos. I'm used to basically doing voiceovers, which I like. I like to do voiceovers, and that's what I'm used to. I'm not used to talking to the camera and telling you how I feel and letting you know my feelings and all of that. I'm not used to that. So something that I went through actually for a long time was feeling stuck. I felt trapped. Okay, let's talk about this, because I'm just rambling at this point. Growing up, I didn't know what I wanted to be. I didn't grow up where I was like, you know how it's kids, it's like, oh, I want to be an astronaut. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a doctor. I want to be this. I want to be that. I never grew up with that type of dream, I guess. I kind of did, but the dream that I had, I think, was kind of unrealistic. I mean, it's not that it's unrealistic, but it's just something that was going to be harder to get than the average go to school and you can become a doctor, lawyer, and you know, whatever else you want to be. The thing that I always wanted to be was a singer. It was something that I always wanted. It was my dream. I was like, I'm gonna grow up and I'm gonna be like Whitney Houston, Yolanda Adams at the time, because she was like one of my gospel singing idols. And I I'm gonna be like them and I'm gonna sing and that's gonna be my job. By the time, you know, that's standard little kid's dream. My niece says that she wants to be a cheerleader for a profession for the rest of her life, but go niece. Anyway, that's what I always wanted for myself when I was younger. When I got in middle school and high school, of course, those things became to me unrealistic. I'm not saying that if you want to be a singer that you can't be a singer, but it's just way harder to do rather than, oh, I want to be a doctor and I have to go to school for X amount of years and I can become that doctor. Or I want to be a lawyer or a nurse, or whatever you want to be, where it literally just takes going to school and studying and just doing your best and being a hard worker, basically. Singing requires hard work, but it requires a lot more than that. You have to have connects, you have to have all these things. It's not just cut and dry type of situation. So as I got older, it was like, okay, I can't be that, but what do I want to be? And I can honestly say that I never knew what I wanted after the fact of I want to be a singer. There was a point in time where I was like, okay, I want to be an entrepreneur, but I don't know what business that I want to have. But of course, the same thing with entrepreneurship is it requires more than just I want to be an entrepreneur. It requires money. It requires funding. It requires all these different elements that comes with being an entrepreneur. It's not a cut and dry thing again. So because of that, and because of the fact that I had horrible grades in high school, I won't even tell you my grade point average. I'm not dumb. It's just that I did not apply myself. You know how teachers say, oh, you're not applying yourself the way that you could. That was true in my situation. I wasn't applying myself the way that I could, and because of that, I did not get good grades, and science was just horrendous to me. The only thing that I found that I really liked as far as a subject in high school was English. I absolutely loved English, and I know why now, because I love to write. Writing is like my passion. I love doing it. But even though writing was my passion, it was more like songwriting and raps and poems and things like that. It wasn't like it was like, oh, I want to write a novel. I didn't want to write a novel, but I could write a poem in 2 seconds. I could write a song in 2 seconds. So I absolutely loved English. So I absolutely loved English. I'm putting on my foundation right now. So because I didn't apply myself the way that I should have applied myself, and because I did not do what I was supposed to do, or even know what I was going to do or wanted to do as far as a profession, when it came down to my senior year and I had to pick like colleges and things like that, I never did. So the only thing that I had left was a community college. I only had a community college left to go to, and there's nothing wrong with community college. I actually think that a lot of people should go to community college for the first 2 years because it is basics, and then go to their college for the other stuff. I kind of think it's a waste of money if you go to a major university for like basics and you have to pay $24,000, $12,000, however many X amount of dollars in order to get your basics done. I don't know, I kind of think that's like, geez, that's like a lot just for basics that you can get from a community college. But I was left going to a community college because I didn't have really any options. I didn't know what I wanted to be. I didn't know who I wanted to be. Honestly, I can honestly say I didn't know who I was at that point. I didn't know that I didn't know who I was, but I know now that I didn't know who I was as a person or who I wanted to become. So I was just stuck going to a community college doing the basic classes. However, one thing that I did find out was that I did not apply myself in high school, because I applied myself in this community college and I started getting 3.0. I never got a 4.0. Never got a 4.0. But I got like 3.0 and A's and B's, no C's and things like that. And I was like, wow, I can do this. But I never applied myself. Who knew? Who knew? My teacher was right. She was right. So after going to community college for one straight year, I still didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know what my profession, that I wanted. I was just honestly stuck. I didn't know what to do. So, you know, even though I was going there and I was getting good grades and I was happy about that, it was still this point where it was just like something was missing. And I felt like I didn't know where to go next or what to do. So because of that, I didn't go to college the next year. I ended up working at a job, which could have been a career if I really wanted it to be, because it was in a really nice place that offered career type opportunities if you were to move up. And so I started thinking, okay, I can do this, you know. I don't know what I want to do, but I can do this, and I can move up in the field, and I can become like some high up exec type person, even though I didn't technically finish college. But you know, I didn't finish college because I was unhappy. I didn't finish college because I don't know what I want to be, and I didn't know what I wanted to get my degree in. So you know what, if I do this job, I can get my degree in whatever they tell me that I need my degree in, and I can just be this boss at this job. So after working there for about a month or two, I actually ended up quitting because it was too far. But it was also the fact that I wasn't feeling it. I was not happy there. I did not feel like that was where I was supposed to be. I didn't know where I was supposed to be, but I knew that that was not it. So I ended up quitting that job and not working there anymore. So after quitting that job, I was kind of in a funk, and I didn't know what to do next. At that point, I was probably about 21 years old, and I was like, what in the world am I supposed to do? See, the problem with a lot of people is they look at where other people at, and they compare their situations to other people and where other people are at. So I was looking at other people and seeing where they were at, people that went to school with me, people that went to church with me, people that I knew from here and knew from there, and I was looking at their circumstances and looking at where they were. And so while I was looking at where they were, it got me inside of some sort of depression where I was like, why don't I know my purpose? Why don't I know my plan? Why can't it be easy for me where I know what I want to do and I can just go to school for it? But my thing always was, why am I in this funk? Why am I in this spot where I don't know what I'm gonna be or who I want to be, or just stuck? Always stuck, not knowing what to do next or where to go. So I found out recently, and I actually talked to one of my friends about it, that feeling trapped is actually a form of depression. and I didn't know it was a form of depression. I just thought it was just the way that I felt. But it's a form of depression, and it's something that will honestly take 100% control over you if you let it. The way that you let it control you is by constantly being in that funk and not trying to take yourself out of it, not trying to remove yourself from that funk. And I know that it's probably easier said than done. How do I remove myself from feeling this way? How do I stop myself from feeling a way that I have always felt? And I can honestly say that what brought me out of that was the things that brought me out of that depression, the things that brought me out of that mindset of I don't know what I want to be. I don't know who I am as a person. I don't know what I want to be, and I feel trapped. The thing that got me out of that mindset was basically not thinking about it. I mean, of course you should think about where you want to be and who you want to be and things of that sort. But obsessing over it to a point where you feel depressed and crying about it every single day. With anything, the more you obsess over something, the worse it's gonna be, because you're obsessing over it. You're constantly thinking about it. Sometimes in order for it to refresh your mind, you have to take your mind away from certain things and then come back to it. Once you come back to it with a refreshed mind and a good mindset, then that's when you can think properly. When you're constantly obsessing over something and stressing about something and not knowing left from right and things like that, then you're not thinking clearly. Once you think clearly, and then that's when you can or should be able to move forward. I have no idea whether or not you're a Christian or what or who you believe in, but one thing about me is, and that I'm not ever afraid to say, is that I am a Christian. I believe 100% in God, and I believe in what He can do for me and for you as well. So when it came to depression, when it came to not knowing where to go and what I wanted to do and what my purpose was, and being in that depression and being in that funk of I don't know what to do next and I don't know where to go next. One thing about being a Christian that a lot of Christians probably don't do is give your problems 100% to God. And once you give your problems to God, once you tell Him what you need from Him, then you are supposed to forget 100% about your problems and have faith that God will bring you through, that God will give you what you are asking for. So that's something that I had to learn how to do recently. I had to learn to trust in God and have faith that everything was going to work out for my good. Everything was going to work out for me the way that it is supposed to. I believe in a certain destiny, and I believe that I have a purpose on this earth. One thing about God is that He's not going to give you anything that you cannot handle. It's not going to put you in any situation that you can't handle for yourself. So if you find yourself in a funk and if you find that you have a problem or anything like that, He only gave it to you because you're strong enough to handle it. So the thing that got me out of that funk, out of that depression, out of that feeling of I don't know what to do, I don't know who I want to be, is relying 100% on God and knowing that He was going to work everything out for my good. Once I did that, and once I really just took time to think, what do you like to do? See, I don't feel like I said earlier, anything when it comes to a job, it shouldn't feel like a job. It should feel like something that you truly enjoy doing. So if you're miserable and you're feeling stuck and you're feeling trapped and you're feeling depressed and all of these different things, then maybe it is because you are not in the right career field that you should be in. Maybe it's because what you are doing right now is not for you. Take a minute, think about what you want to do next. Think about where you want to go next. Think about these things and then put it into motion. Put it into motion, these things that you want for yourself. Don't just think about it and spend years on years thinking, okay, well maybe next year or maybe the day after that. See, I was that type of person. I was that type of person where I said, okay, maybe tomorrow, okay, maybe the next day I'll do this, maybe the next day I'll do that. Sometimes I still find myself doing that about the gym. Sorry, I be hungry and I don't be feeling like exercising, but I need to. So we as people, we put off a lot of things and we say, oh, you know what, tomorrow I'll do it. But let me tell you something, and you should already know this already. Tomorrow is not promised. So how many times are you going to keep putting that thing off? How many times are you going to keep saying, tomorrow I will? There is nobody in this world that can promise you a tomorrow. Nobody. So stop putting things aside because you think that there will be a tomorrow. There is no guarantee that there will be a tomorrow. And if you keep thinking that way, then you will never get to where you want to be. You will never get to that destiny that you are searching for. You will never get to that promised place that God has promised you that you can be, because you're so busy being stuck. You're so busy being trapped. You're so busy being depressed that you put things aside that you shouldn't put aside. Don't put aside the things that matter. Do it now. If you're feeling trapped, if you're feeling stuck, if you are feeling depressed, stop saying tomorrow and start saying today. See, the thing is, some people don't know and they don't think that when they're feeling trapped, when they're feeling this way, that is depression, but it's 100% depression. And the thing about depression is it'll take you and it'll drag you down into this downward spiral that you don't want to be, to the point where you're in a black hole and you're climbing to get out. And if you let this black hole consume you, if you let this black hole take you and trap you, the longer that you let it take you, the longer that you let it trap you, the longer that you let it literally suck you in, the longer that you will be stuck in there, and the longer it will be and the harder it will be to get out. So stop letting this depression ruin you. Stop letting this depression take a hold of you. Stop letting this feeling of being trapped consume you and letting you think that it's normal. It is normal to have these feelings. It's people all over the world that has the same feeling. However, it does not have to take you, and it does not have to be your life. It's up to you. It's up to you to literally grab life by the horns and not let that depression consume you. You are who you are because God made you the way that He made you. And everybody on this world has a destiny. Everybody on this world has a purpose. And when you let depression consume you, and when you literally let it eat you up, then who's winning? Not you. You're not winning because you're letting this thing grab a hold of you. You're not winning because you're not trying to dig out of here and trying to get out. In order for you to get out, then you have to have the right mindset. You have to constantly think positive. When you think negative, when you think, I'm never gonna get out of this, I'm never gonna know who I want to be when I grow up, I am grown and I'm trapped and I feel trapped in all these sort of things, then it's just gonna keep on manifesting itself. Don't let it manifest itself by fighting it. Take time to find out who you are as a person. Spend time with yourself. Spend quality time with yourself. That was one thing that I actually had to learn to do. And that's why I said when I was in college, I didn't know who I was. The reason why I didn't know who I was because I never took time to learn who I was. I never took time to find out about me because I never spent time with myself. The same way that you literally have to spend time with people to build a relationship, the same way that you have to spend time with God in order to build a relationship with Him, the same way that you have to spend time with yourself to build a relationship with yourself. And what I mean by a relationship with yourself is just knowing who you are as a person. That's how you find out who you are. A lot of people, you know, they say, I'm trying to find myself. Well, that's how you find yourself. Spend time with yourself. Find out your likes and your dislikes and, you know, things like that. Take yourself to the movies. Stop waiting for a man to do it. And once you do that, you will find who you are as a person. You will find out who you are. And I'm sure that you will love the person that you are. And if you don't love the person that you are, then change that. Because like I said before, tomorrow is not promised. You don't know when your last day could be on this earth, and because of that, we need to start making decisions now about our life and how we want to be and who we want to be known as. And you're not going to do that sitting in your seat, and you're not going to do that in your room somewhere depressed and crying and sick and not eating and, you know, doing all these types of things. Remember, I understand, because I went through that same funk. I went through that same depression, and it was hard, and it's really easier said than done. You know, I'm saying these things though because I went through it. I'm saying these things because this was my life a year or two ago. Sometimes I even still get that feeling of, oh my gosh, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know, you know, am I going in the right direction? Is this really my purpose that I feel like I am right now? Moving towards. And I get that funk sometimes, but I have to pull myself out just like anybody else and tell myself that you are blessed, you are highly favored, and any problem that you have, give it to God and move on, because tomorrow is not promised. Things change, people change, but God remains the same. And the thing that always remains the same about Him always is His word. And if He gave you a word, and if He gave you a revelation, if He told you your problem is handled, don't worry about it, I got it, then give it to Him. Give Him your problem. And the way that you give Him your problem is by saying, listen, I have this problem. I feel trapped. I feel depressed. I feel heavy-hearted. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do next. I don't know to go left or to go right. But even though I don't know these things, I am giving you my problems, and I am turning away from it, and I'm having faith and believing that even though I had these problems, that once I give them to you, that they are no more. Once I give them to you, that I will no longer have any more problems, because I believe that you are going to fix the things that are in my life. I believe that you are going to get rid of these problems that I have. I believe, and I am stepping in faith, and your will be done. Once you say those things, or however in the world you want to say it, and you totally have faith and you give it to Him, really give it to Him. Giving it to Him means not thinking about it. Giving it to Him means no longer dwelling on it. You know, of course you're probably gonna have your slip-ups, like, oh my God, I got a bill to pay, or, you know, whatever the case may be. But once you find yourself going to that place, once you find yourself going to a spot where you're feeling like that depression is going back up, that's when you pray. That's when you say, you know what, God, I'm having a problem with this, and I'm asking you to fix this situation. I'm asking you to once again put it in your hands. And once again, I am stepping away. It's all in your mind. That's what people don't understand, is it's all in your mind. Problems that I had, I gave away. The problems that I had, I no longer have, because I gave it to God instead of focusing on it, dwelling on it, and thinking negatively. I think positive. I'm speaking positiveness all around me, because I believe that these business ventures that I have set up are going to work out, and they're going to work out in my favor. So if you truly believe those things, and if you truly have faith, then you won't be depressed. I literally only have a certain amount of money in my pockets, but I'm happy. I go to church every Sunday, I give, I serve, and I do everything else because I have faith, and I believe that everything is gonna work out. I was honestly not trying to turn this into like a church lesson or like a sermon or anything like that. I honestly wasn't. But the thing is, when you're a Christian and when you are saved and when you believe a certain way, and then when you are truly saved, you see things differently. You don't see things with the same eyes as you did before. And the thing is, I'm truly saved, okay? I could talk about God every single day if I wanted to, because he's literally all I am thinking about right now. So even though I wasn't trying to turn this into a church sermon, when God is everything in your life, and when God is literally the foundation of your life and the foundation of your world, then of course you cannot do anything but talk about him, regardless of if you're not trying to talk about him or not. It's like somebody who has a boyfriend or husband, they're always talking about them. Well, let me tell you something, God is my man right now, so he's the person that I'm always going to be talking about. And even when I do get a man or whatever, then I am still going to be talking about him, because that is just how good God is. Still happy, I am still rejoicing, I am still grateful, because like I said, I gave my problems to him, so I no longer have to worry about the things that regular people have to worry about. I don't have to worry about those things because I gave it to God. So if you give that to God as well, and if you believe and have faith that he will work everything out for your good, if you believe and have faith that you will give your problems to him and that he will work everything out, and that he will take those problems and turn everything around, then you will have the same smile as I have, because you will believe that everything that you have given to him will 100% be turned around. I have so much more to talk about as far as different subjects and things like that, because, you know, 24 years old, I went through some stuff, and depression was one of them, but I am not depressed anymore. I am no longer feeling like that. And if you are feeling like that, and if you feel like, you know, trapped or anything like that, just know that it will all turn around. Don't focus on it. Don't ponder on it. Don't keep thinking about it, because the more that you think about it, and the more that you focus, and the more that you ponder on it, then the more that it is going to just fester up and get bigger and bigger, and it's going to be harder to climb out of there. So stop focusing on it, let it go, breathe, come back to it with a clean and clear mind, and then that's when you can probably dig yourself out of that hole that you have dug yourself in. So I hope that helped anybody that is dealing with depression or coping and stress and all those sort of things, because I went through it too. I went through the stress, I went through the depression, I went through all of it. But it is no longer a factor in my life, and I am 100% grateful and happy about that. So if you all want me to talk about a certain subject, and if I am knowledgeable about it, then I will definitely talk about it and let you all know the this and that and whatever. So I want to thank you all so much for watching my channel, for tuning in, and I thank you so much for my 10,000 subscribers. That is absolutely wonderful, and I still can't believe that I have 10,000 subscribers. So thank you all so much for that. I really appreciate it. XOXO.